Hello everyone, this is Edexcel's science channel and let's move on to section B. Question number 11. Two forces act on an object. Okay, very good. The forces are perpendicular as shown. So this is the force that is acting on the object and they're asking us to find out the resultant force using a scaled vector diagram. Now, if we want to make a vector diagram, we need to make sure that all our vectors are in the head tail format. The arrow is the head and the other end is the tail. Now let's make a blueprint and let's try to copy that in the actual diagram. So this is going to be 1200 Newton, and we know that in a vector diagram we can move the vectors parallelly. So let's make this the 2300 Newton, and this is going to be our resultant force. Now if you want, you can actually move this one too. So you can move that one parallelly over here, and then this is going to be your resultant force. We need to keep in mind that the resultant force is going to be the arrow that breaks the cycle, okay, that goes in the opposite direction. Now this is our blueprint and we are going to copy that over here in a scaled format. Now for the scaling, let's say that I take 5 boxes, okay, I take 5 boxes as 1200 Newton. So if I do this 1, 2 and 2.5, so according to my ruler I have taken 2.5 units as 1200 Newton. This is the scaling that I have to use for the entire diagram. Now if you want, I can even change it. So if you want, I can even do something like this. Instead of 4 boxes I can take 5. So 1 2 3 4 5, something like this. So if I use my ruler, it is how many units? 1 2 3. So I have basically used 3 units as 1200 Newton. Now if I use 3 units as 1200 Newton, let's use unitary method. So 1200 Newton is 3 unit. 1 Newton would be 3 divided by 1200 Newton, and 2300 Newton would be something like this. So what is the value of this? It is something 5.75 unit. Now I am going to make my ruler vertical, at 90 degree, and I'm going to put it over here. Actually, let me remove the arrow to make it accurate. Now over here I'm going to draw 5.75 units. So one unit, 2 units, 3, 4, 5, and 5.75 would be over here. Okay, now we can remove the ruler. Now what we have to do is we have to use an opposite arrow to find out the resultant force. Now whatever is the unit, now we need to measure the length of this arrow. So how many units are this? So it should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6.5. So from our ruler, we have found out that the resultant force is 6.5 units, right? Now, we can just use this one. Actually, we have to use a different one. So 3 units is considered to be 1200 Newton. So 1 unit would represent 400 Newton. 6.5 units would represent 400 times 6.5 Newton. Sorry, not Newton. So the answer would be 2600 Newton. If you check the marking scheme, it says that any answer between 2550 and 2650 is the correct answer. So over here we have to write 2600 Newton.